Welcome to Jiva Yoga Live. My name is Kella, and today we're going to do relaxing exercises for lymphatic drainage of the face. Do you ever wake up with a puffy face and wonder if there's anything that you can do to help relieve it? Well, something called lymphatic drainage is a technique that we can use to help circulate some of the fluids that can accumulate in the face and neck. Lymphatic drainage is an excellent thing to do manually because unlike the circulatory system, unlike blood, lymph is not pumped with each beat of the heart. Lymph is actually moved through the body through gravity and also through manual stimulation, as well as when our muscles flex, and even when our internal organs are moving and stimulating, so the stomach, the GI tract, etc. We're going to use some nice, easy-to-use techniques to stimulate our lymphatic drainage of the face. So to begin, our first exercise is going to be neck stretches. So this is a very easy one. Simply take your right hand or one of your hands, reach it up and over to the opposite ear, and open up the space between the ear and the shoulder. You can actually drop your hand to the floor or onto the knee. And take a nice deep inhalation here through the nose and out through the mouth. And again. And once more. Now we're going to use our hand that was on the knee and we're going to bring it up to our ear. And we're going to gently stroke from the ear to the collarbone. And we're going to repeat this 3 times. And then we're going to release. And feel the afterglow of that really nice neck stretch. And then we'll take the opposite hand to the ear, opening up between the ear and the shoulder. Inhaling through the nose and out through the mouth. Three times. And then we're going to take our hand and stroke gently between the ear and the collarbone. There's quite a few lymph nodes located just on the side of the neck. And one of the main drainage areas of the lymphatic system is located just below the collarbone. And this is where it drains into the heart. So it's really good to give a nice gentle stimulation to those side neck lymph nodes. So our second exercise today is going to be a lymphatic drainage facial massage. So we're going to begin in the sort of triangle space between the nose and just under the cheeks. So the golden rule of lymphatic drainage facial massage is to work from the inside of the face to the outside, and to also work really gently, because the lymphatic vessels and nodes are actually located quite close to the surface of the skin. So for this, you're going to use the 2 pads of your fingers, gently sweeping down along the corner of your cheeks, and then sweeping up. And we'll repeat this 5 or 6 times. And then we're going to take those finger pads and we're going to go, well, actually the thumb, we're going to go from the bottom of the chin. We're going to sweep up and then with the two pads of the fingers down. Again, working that neck. So with the thumbs, sweeping from under the chin, under the jaw, almost up to the ear actually. And then you're gonna take those two fingers and sweep down. So we'll repeat that 2 more times. Remembering to breathe. Nice job. And then from here, we're going to take those 2 finger pads and we're going to work from the area below the lips towards the jaw. So you can kind of use little, almost like wave-like motions, just working from the inside to the outside of the jaw. And moving above the lips. Just using these nice, gentle strokes, short little strokes, so that you don't pull your skin unnecessarily. Out to the jaw and to the temple. And you're just gonna work your way slowly up. Over the apples of your cheeks, out to the temple, and under the eyes. You can use just one finger here if it's more comfortable. A lot of us tend to accumulate fluid here under our eyes, and this is a nice, gentle way to just circulate it into the lymph system. And coming to the temple, and just below the eyebrows, you can sweep up here too, very gently to the temple. As you can see, I kind of alternate between 1 or 2 fingers depending on the geography of the face. When it's more broad and flat, it's easier to just use 2 fingers. And you just stroke outwards, even up to the temple, to the hairline. Just systematically working over your face. And now what we're going to do is we're going to rub our hands together and we're going to do sort of an energetic cleanse. It's going to support the drainage of the lymph of the face without directly touching it. So we're going to warm our hands up and then we'll release when they're warm, and hovering about 1 inch from the face, we're just gonna gently bring our hands, kind of scanning just down into a downward motion. And coming from the top of the head, just encouraging that energy to fall down a little bit. So for our third pose, we're going to go into child's pose, which is a really wonderful yoga pose, very basic, that uses gravity to help circulate lymph. So the next series of yoga exercises are all going to be playing with the idea of the body as a pump. So when we invert our body, for example, and our head is below the heart, more pressure is pushing down. And then when we come back up, all of the pressure that's gathered is gonna help encourage the descending of the lymph through the body. So to come into child's pose, we're just gonna simply come up onto our knees. And some people like to keep their knees together. I tend to prefer to bring my knees out to the side of the mat. And you're sitting on your heels. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can always put a bolster in between your heels and your backside, but we're also going to be moving forward, so it won't be there for too long. So stretching forward in this pose. We're going to bring our head down to the mat. And we're really going to keep active through the hands. And you can wiggle down into your hips and just feel this nice elongation of the spine. This is a very gentle way to begin to circulate the lymph. It's a nice warm up for the series of yoga movements we're going to be doing. So breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth here, following your own rhythm. And on the exhale, we're going to be coming up onto our hands and our knees. We're going to have our hands stacked below our shoulders and our knees stacked below our hips, about hip width apart. Keeping our back nice and straight to begin. So to begin this pose, what we're going to do is we're going to push our navel up to the spine in order to arch our back, okay? So we're really engaging the belly here, and we're dropping the head. And then we're going to inhale. We release our belly. We allow our belly to fill with air as we inhale, and we raise our chin up, and we just really arch our back here. And from this pose, we're gonna exhale, pushing our belly to our spine, and inhaling up, releasing the belly, exhaling, and finding your own breathing rhythm here. And we'll continue with 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just releasing. We're gonna tuck our toes under, we're gonna lift up through the hips, and we're gonna walk our hands a little bit further forward. And we're really gonna push our chest towards our thighs. So from here, we're really just focusing on this really nice elongation of the spine. And we're gonna begin to work our heels down to the mat. And this one is just an excellent one for bringing all the blood and all the nutrients down to our face and a lot of that lymphatic fluid. And we're just gonna breathe in and out 3 times, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And from here, we're gonna walk our feet towards our hands. So from here, we're going into standing forward bend. So we're basically just retaining this pressure in this upper part of our face and head. And we can grasp our elbows together and really help the upper spine relax here. And I always like to shift from side to side. And you can keep a nice micro bend in the knee. And remember just to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. To come out, what we're gonna do is remember to keep the micro bend in the knees, and then from the pelvic cavity, slowly moving up, vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing our shoulders back, circling them around. You might want to shake out your hands, and you might feel some of that blood coming back down into the rest of your system, so go slowly if you feel dizzy. 7th exercise, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back down onto the floor, onto the mat. So from here, what we're gonna do are supine recline twists. So our supine recline twists are gonna have us coming down onto the mat, laying down comfortably here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lift up our hips and inch them just about an inch to the left. And then we're gonna bring our knees and allow them to fall to the floor. And we're opening up on the opposite shoulder. And if it's available for you, you can look over that arm. And just hold here for a few inhalations and exhalations. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And coming back up to center. You want to straighten out your hips. And then again, you're going to lift them up, shift them about an inch to the other direction, to the right. Take your knees that are probably at an angle here and drop them to the left side or the opposite side. And you're going to open up through that shoulder. And you're going to just take a few inhalations and exhalations here as well. And coming back to center. So twists are really good. They're almost like, if you can imagine squeezing a rag, it's like allowing all of that fluid to get twisted and sort of moved through the body when you're not in just linear poses or going up and down. So those twists are also really helpful for circulating lymphatic fluid in the body. So for our last pose, we're just gonna come down into corpse pose. So extending those legs, allowing the feet to fall open, our hands on either side of the body with our palms facing up. And we're just gonna take a few inhalations in through the nose and out through the mouth here, and then into our normal breath. It's always recommended to finish off a yoga series in corpse pose just to give the body a chance to integrate the exercises that you've done. So thank you for joining me today and have a lovely afternoon.